A week ago today, Kirk Saarloos, the A's #5 starter all year long, posted his 10th win of the year in Boston, making all 5 A's rotation men double-figure winners. Saarloos has had an amazing record this year of pitching very effectively with much more than 5 days rest, often 7, 8, even 9, and that was the hope tonight. But this was one of those games where Saarloos, who thrives on keeping the ball down with his sinker, getting his cut fastball in on left-handed batters, did not have location of his pitches. And even though the first inning made it look like he might get out and straighten things out, it didn't work out that way, and the Rangers took advantage of that. They're that kind of an offensive ball club, and Saarloos lasted just 3 2/3 innings. First inning, it was evident that he wasn't hitting his spots when he walked Michael Young, and then Mark Teixeira singled on a pitch that wasn't in a good location. When he got Hank Blaylock to hit into a double play, that was an indication that, well, maybe that sinker was going to be okay, and he'd get his usual high ration of ground outs. But that didn't eventuate that way. Even though the Athletics wound up taking the early lead in the ball game, eventually things wore down. Mark Ellis had a leadoff single in the A's first, but that's all they got off Dominguez. He had retired 5 straight batters when Jay Payton rifled a single to center field with 2 out in the second inning. And then Dan Johnson came up. Johnson in a 2-1 situation. He had seen an off-speed pitch during the first part of the at-bat, and so when the next pitch came up, that meant it was time for the Margarita King Call, brought to you by the Margarita King, the world's only gold medal winning margarita in a bottle, now at Safeway. Johnson hits it hard to right field, going deep, and gone! A line drive home run to dead right field by Dan Johnson. He waited back on the off-speed pitch and screamed it, and the A's have a 2-0 lead here in inning number 2. His 15th of the year and only the second before the home folks. The young right-hander Dominguez shrugged that off. He went on to retire the next 8 batters until there was 1 out in the 5th inning, and by that time he was running in front because of the Texas bats, which in the 3rd inning got quickly out against Saarloos as Barajas, hitting 8th in the order, singled sharply to the left. Jason Botts, a rookie who has only 3 for 13 as his Major League resume, singled. Runners were at 1st and 3rd, and the veteran Gary Matthews came up at the top of the order.
The infield double play depth, and Matthews rips one to center for a base hit. Scoring easily is Barajas. Up to second is Botts, and now it's a 2-1 ball game, and 3 straight well-hit balls. 2-1 A's.
Saarloos then braced and got a force out at second, popped up the dangerous Teixeira, and got Blaylock to ground out, so the A's kept the lead, which of course came on the Johnson home run, which was the Margarita King Call, brought to you by the Margarita King. The world's only gold medal winning margarita is now in a bottle at Safeway. Just say, King me, baby, and sip responsibly. On we go into the top of the 4th inning, and that was big-time trouble. No indication of it when the first batter, Soriano, flied out, but Adrian Gonzalez, the DH tonight, rifled a single to center field. Then Mark DeRosa worked the base on balls, and the pitch count was going up as DeRosa had an 11-pitch at bat for that walk. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Barajas at the plate. Barajas has been on a home run tear in the latter part of the season, as a career-high 20, and it appeared for an instant that he might have struck out on a 1-2 pitch. But on appeal, it was ruled that the ball was caught by Kendall after bouncing on the ground after he foul-tipped it. So Barajas had a reprieve.
And Saarloos' delivery is swung on and hit the deep left field. Jay Payton is going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall, and it is gone, and Rod Barajas hits a 3-run home run to left field. And yes, indeed, that was a critical call on the foul tip. And now the Rangers have taken a 4-2 lead.
More to come, though, as the rookie Botts had his second single in as many at-bats, and then was forced out at second base on an excellent play by Ellis. Matthews became the runner. He promptly stole second base while Michael Young was batting. And these days, nobody wants to face Michael Young.
The 3-1 pitch is ripped to left. Payton going over, makes a dive, and the ball goes by him. Hit his glove, now rolls behind him, and scoring easily is Matthews, and going to second with a double is Michael Young, and now it's 5-2 Texas. Great try and left by Payton going toward the line. A pull-out dive. Had it momentarily, and the ball trickled away.
They elected to walk Teixeira intentionally and then go to the bullpen for rookie left-hander Ron Flores to face the left-hand batting Hank Blaylock. And in this instance, Blaylock got the early edge in the at-bat, going to 3-0, but Flores came back to get to 3-2.
Runners will be off on the 3-2. And the pause, the pitch, and it swung on it, missed. He got him on a breaking ball. Ron Flores comes back from 3-0 to strike out Blaylock. The Rangers lead 2, but they score 4. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, Texas 5, Athletics 2.
It appeared as if that might be a pivotal strikeout for Flores and the A's, because in the bottom half of the inning, after 8 batters had been retired in succession, Dan Johnson rifled a double to left field down into the corner to get the inning rolling. And although Swisher struck out looking, Mark Ellis was hit by a pitch, putting runners at first and second. Kendall followed with a single, one of only 2 hits by A's tonight, with runners in scoring position, but it didn't get the runner home. It went to left field and got too quickly out to Botts as the runners were held, moving up only a base. Bases loaded. Mark Kotsay up. This is the one the A's were hoping for after the Rangers didn't get any more in that scoring inning in the top half. But Kotsay quickly got behind in the count. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Didn't give him the fastball. Something a little off speed. Took something off it up high. And Kotsay leaves the bases loaded as Dominguez gets his 3rd strikeout at an opportune time. And through 5, it's 5-2 Texas. And the A's bullpen was doing a good job as Flores pitches shutout 5th. Calero shutout 6th and 7th, just hoping the A's bats could get something going. Crosby gave them hope with a 1-out double in the 6th, but he died when Hatterberg and Payton were retired by Dominguez, who went on all the way into the 8th inning before the A's had another threat. But in the meantime, in the top half of the 8th inning, maybe one of the better moments of the night for the A's fans, who were frustrated as the evening went on because Rich Harden made an appearance on the hill for the first time since the 19th of August, this in a relief role, and he pitched a shutout inning, allowing only a base hit, but he had some help on the first batter he faced, DeRosa.
Harden's pitch is on the way, and it swung on and hit to deep left center field. Payton going back at the track. He's at the wall, leaping, and makes the catch. Fine play by Jay Payton, going right to the wall in left center field, just right of the 362 mark, to rob DeRosa of extra bases.
But in the bottom of the 8th, the A's once again did some stirring. Kendall beat out an infield hit. Kotsay single to right, and Kendall with a daring dash for 3rd just got in under the throw. And once again, the hope for a big rally and a late surge by the Athletics. But that was dashed. Eric Chavez, first pitch swinging, fouled out to 3rd base. And then came Joaquin Benoit in from the bullpen to face Crosby. He struck him out looking. And finally, with Scott Hatterberg, who's mired in a deep slump in the homestand, he was first pitch swinging too, and it didn't do the job.
Benoit's delivery is swung on and popped up. Right side, foul territory coming down is Teixeira, the first baseman. He makes the catch. The A's at 1st and 3rd and nobody out. Chavez popped out, Crosby struck out, and Hatterberg popped out. And the A's failed to score, and after 8 complete, Rangers 5, Athletics 2.
The Rangers tacked on an extra run in the 9th inning against Jay Witasic on a single by Young and a 2-out double by Soriano. And when Cordero came on to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning, the Athletics were looking at a 4-run deficit. And one more time, a little hope breathed into the cause, only to be dashed. Jay Payton with a double bounced over the right field wall. Johnson walked, nobody out against Cordero. But then he got Swisher swinging and missing for strike 3. He struck out Ellis. But Kendall beat out and hit the deep short, and the A's had the bases loaded one more time for Kotsay. Cordero from the stretch. High hopper, right side. Taken by Soriano, quick throw to first, and just in time, Soriano had to wait for the hop, and it's all over. And the A's are 4 down with 7 games to play to the Angels, with the Angels coming in for 4 tomorrow night as the Rangers, on effective pitching, shut down the Athletics, taking the series 2-1 and leaving the A's gasping for air. Final score, Rangers 6 and the A's 2. And all that's left now, the Angels for 4 and the A's in Seattle for 3. What gives in the final week? We'll find out very shortly. Ken will be back, though, with the scoreboard right after this.